Do
for
you know? Can
sure.
you help me understand mutual aid a little bit better? Because
Yeah.
I'm just getting familiar with the concept and I'm throwing it out there, but I don't necessarily like have a full grasp on it.
So when I think about mutual aid, I think
And
about
it's
that.
okay if you don't know the actual definition.
I
On
don't,
this
I
show,
don't.
on this show, winged definitions
This
are
is my,
understood. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, this is my sort of way of thinking about mutual aid is sort of like collectively coming together to support each other. So like a mutual aid, an example, like you've seen a ton of examples right now with the floods that just happened in Detroit, and mutual aid being like folks coming together to donate Clorox, mops, trash bags, and then those getting distributed to the community. So I think about it as like a voluntary exchange of goods to help each other, right? It's just, in my mind, it's just us taking care of us without sort of going through any higher streams. And so I think like Knox, for example, right? They organize a bunch of mutual aid. Um,
They
they
give away
work with
free
a,
books, right?
yeah, exactly. They give
Sorry,
away free
I didn't mean to
books.
interrupt, but yeah, go
They
ahead.
also do an awesome book club. If you are looking to have really great conversations about books, they do a book club. What I love about their book club is that I actually haven't been able to participate, but I like talk to people about it all of the time. They'll take things that like Society of the Spectacle by Guy Debord, which like feels really heady to read, and you'll read it with them, but also they'll help distribute it for free. In the book club, they really like collaborate with folks to lead the discussions that like know the text, and you break it down together. And
Yeah,
it's not this like, so even the way that they function as an organization, right? It's about, yeah, they're doing all of the organizing of the things, but they're sharing the power. And I think when Danielle or whomever from Knox was like, we're a collective and I want to acknowledge it, that's part of that like ethos of mutual
yeah.
aid, that like it's not just one of us, it's all of us. And it's that collaboration, right? Like Knox is
Well,
a
let me
group
just
of
say real
people.
quick,
Yeah.
as a tourist and someone who is intoxicated with Detroit, you speak very well of it. So I want to give you your authority. I want to empower you because
Yes.
you know like I haven't necessarily had conversations directly about Detroit, or I tried to, or not that that was the only thing there was to talk about with Chelsea, but I think as an outsider, it's sort of like talking to somebody who's like, "Why is this place so drawing you in?" Right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been in LA so long that I've lost that. Right? Like,
Mm.
I feel like I'm like, why the fuck am I here? It's just suffering, you know? We made homelessness illegal. Like
I
literally.
saw that. I did see
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
So this is like healing. You've literally made me think like, fuck, maybe that's my next place.
I mean, it's such an awesome place. It's such an awesome place. I
Mm.
really love it here.
But you know what?
Very,
But I will
but
acknowledge
the
that.
winters are tough. The winters are
No, and
tough.
it's an illusion because I moved out here thinking this was going to be a liberal mecca, and then I realized this is like the most right wing fucking place. Like
Yes.
if people think that COVID is going to be solved by Democrats, and they didn't see that, you know, like if they're like, oh, it's Republicans, they don't wear masks, like fuck off.
Right?
That's kind of what I'm talking about with people being like they're like holier than like, and I just feel like it's like this sense of like this all sucks for everybody,
Yeah.
and in a broader sense life sucks for everybody. It's like who's to say we're better at suffering, right? Like than anybody else, you know?
Yep.
And and sometimes people are just like, oh no, but like let's be hopeful about the system. I'm like, what's that getting us, dude? You know, like.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, sorry. I'm
Well,
just like my hopelessness is coming out. We're collaborating
no.
on making me feel better.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like mutual aid and collaboration sort of in my head go hand in hand, right? In this, where it's like, yeah, no, this traditional structure of care with mutual aid like doesn't isn't really helping. So we're gonna like do it ourselves. And we're gonna do it in a way that like we're gonna listen to folks and do what they need, you know? And that's I think what's so great. Like I love Knox. I think that they're great, and I will be their hugest fan of it all day.
We don't
They
have to keep
collaborate.
promoting them though.
No,
We can
no,
talk
but
about you a little bit more too. But I do
but
think that
here's the
ethos is
chain, right?
fascinating to us, right?
But the chain of connection, right? Like Knox often works with Gerald. The collaborative group that I'm going to talk about, Bulk Space, that I'm a part of.
And
Like,
I was going to ask you about that because it's not going to
oops,
show up in the video, but it's
it's my name.
BSAR,
Yeah,
Bulk Space Artist Residency.
yeah.
Okay.
Whoops. But yeah, so I'm a part of Bulk Space. We have worked with Gerald. We have worked with Knox, and like think like love what they do. And so yeah, as my I just realized my name says,
No, you
I'm
shouldn't be embarrassed. It's not going to show up in the recording. You're
in the
fine.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a part of this collective, Bulk Space. It's awesome. It's
What do you
me and
guys what so how many artists? What's the organization like? Are you artist space? Are you a collective that shows at different spaces?
right. So we are a little bit of everything. We are predominant. We have had, will have in the sort of middle of trying to fix up a physical space. But we started as like an idea, which is yeah, the collect through the collective effort, we take up more space, and thinking about how we could sort of like take up more space to create more space, to take up more space to create more space, and just the Dova, who's a part of this, used this analogy one time when we were talking about power. She was like, power isn't a ladder, it's a hurricane. And the more folks we get in, the more power we hold. And I just love that.